Welcome to Navarrero's online video. Today I want to talk to you guys about the recent announcement by the game's developers. In this post they not only mention stuff regarding the next update for the game, but also content and general plans even beyond that. So what I'll be doing for this video is I'll go through the entire post twice. First up, just giving you guys a quick rundown on everything. And secondly, going back into the post once more with my own opinion on all the stuff mentioned here. Quick heads up about that. I like some of the stuff. I don't really care too much about some of the other things, but there are also some items that have me kinda concerned. But that will be for the second part of this video. So first up, we have info regarding the next update for the game. In February, we are going to see the winter update. This is supposedly made of three major items. First up, the new map. Yes, there will be a third map for this game, Alaska based, so partially snow covered, partially still with green plains, and from what I can tell, a lot of larger lakes on the map. And overall, especially with a picture over here showing it at night with northern lights, it's giving me some Skyrim vibes. Which is definitely not a bad thing. Besides that, the second major thing will be the gold industry chain. So I guess we are going to get a gold mine and also a few other industries regarding what we are going to do with gold. And yeah, looking forward to that. No idea how many industries this will be. Might be a small one, might be, I don't know, 4 or 5, who knows. And also, and this is the third major thing, there will be a new set of rolling stock and a brand new locomotive. So right now, I don't know if the new rolling stock will be things that we need in order to deal with the gold industry and all the supplies and resources we need to transport for that. Or if it's gonna be for anything that we already had in the game and just another option to choose from. For the locomotive, they point out that it can handle the snowy treks through the mountains with ease. This might all just be flavor text, however, this could also mean maybe more in-depth snow mechanics or more than the stuff that we saw with a little snow update for Pine Valley a year ago with the snowplow and all of that. Could mean that it's actually gonna have a built-in snowplow at the front. Could also, again, just be flavor text and I'm just making a lot out of very little here. Beyond that, they talk about stuff regarding their Trello roadmap, which hasn't really seen too many updates since it launched, but they go into more depth regarding some of the major updates they have planned. Starting with the map update. So this is gonna rework how the 2D map works, giving us just a mini-map, and also hopefully the splines being visible on the full map, but also definitely the option to flip the switches while being on the map. That is something that I've been looking forward to for quite a while, just having a major quality of life improvement through that. I hope it's gonna come soon enough, but it will likely also be bundled in with the next point here. The UI update with a more stylized UI and heads-up display. We remember the mock-up thing that we got for the F menu. Not really looking all that nice, but here they mention that they want something more stylized and more readable, better visibility and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. Spline update. More about improvements to how splines are made and being able to align facilities with them by snapping them directly to those. So yeah, that would be another quality of life update here. And yeah, beyond that, there are going to be multiplayer improvements, hopefully including some stuff like text chat in game, simple admin tools for when server hosts are being faced with trolls or anything. Stuff like that would be really nice. and also performance updates, all the likes. Honestly, this is not a major point for myself because I only play in single player for the most part. And beyond that, there are a few more things mentioned regarding future content. More props and buildings, quality of life features like an undo button, greater experience for new players, whatever that means, and the introduction of a fourth map. New rolling stock, overhauled loading screens, not really worth mentioning in my opinion. That's something that should be easy to do. Just put down a few screenshots here and there and you're good to go there. But yeah, also player rights management, again, which is admin tools for server hosts and the likes. And of course, the quick mention of things that I cannot talk about yet. And last but certainly not least, here they talk about how they are going to be releasing all of these things. From now on, they'll be using the beta branch for new content first. Let players test the stuff, and then maybe once they fix the most major issues, if anything arises, then it will be made public on the regular branch. And I gotta say, I wish they would have done so for the past few updates, but I'm definitely happy that they decided to change their approach on that now. So this is a pretty good update, and overall, as long as they don't rush it out, if they give the players a bit of time to check a few things out, this is gonna be a major improvement for the game, so really happy to see all of that. So now let's talk about what I think about all of the stuff that I just mentioned and get really in depth about it. First up, the new map. I honestly do not care about this. At least not with what they've done with the map so far and my expectation regarding what's gonna come next. The Pine Valley map, for example, and yeah, I'll be quickly going through my opinions on all of those real quick. It needs at least a major overhaul in terms of vegetation, which might most likely break a lot of save files for players and they would need to remove a lot of stuff again, but that map definitely needs another update to be looking a lot nicer. Lake Valley is much more of a mess. I talked in the past about issues with the terrain, where some of the contours are just so zigzaggy, just going around bends so quickly that it's real tough to follow all of that with just the track that you want to lay in the mountains to make that look nice. It's still, of course, easy enough to make something that works, but making it look nice without the ability to adjust anything regarding the terrain is tough, and that map has definitely not been designed with all of that in mind. While on the Pine Valley map, the terrain definitely works out a lot better with what we can do in the game. The same can be said for a lot of the flat-ish looking areas that are in fact slightly tilted, slightly wavy, and while they look flat from a distance, it's really difficult to impossible to place down industries and have a decent yard because they are either slightly too small or just so slightly uneven that it's impossible to really do anything with them. And a lot of the map really suffers from that, including their default placement for the iron mine industry, and you just need to look at that to see how weird all of that is. Besides all of that, just the industry default placements there are not amazing, and if they carry the same issues on for the next map, it's not gonna be too fun. So yeah, my expectations right now, since they didn't really go into fixing any of that so far, putting out 2 more maps with the goal of putting this entire game out of early access sometime this year. I think they are doing way too much in that regard, and they should be putting a lot more care into what they have already and fixing all of that. Given that, again, the points that I just brought up regarding the other maps, And the other thing that I forgot to mention regarding Lake Valley is, of course, the world border, the terrain around that we cannot access. It doesn't even align with the terrain of the actual map, and it's just a huge mess. Them not fixing any of that, just putting out more and more, and having plans for a fourth map already. If everything comes out to the same quality as the Lake Valley map, then I would rather not even deal with that. However, once it comes out, I'll definitely be looking at the map. I'll be seeing if maybe they learned something from the other maps, if just how good it was and all of that. I'll be making videos about that, but I don't expect to be actually starting a new series and a new playthrough on that. I'll likely be sticking with my current Lake Valley playthrough and the MIA playthrough on the Pine Valley map, because those are two that I'm really happy with. I heavily dislike the terrain on the Lake Valley map, and I'm definitely not looking forward to dealing with something similar on another map. So yeah, things may change in the future, but right now, seeing this kind of stuff doesn't fill me with excitement at all. More with concern than anything else. So while this is all nice looking, I'm not really too sure about this whole thing. The gold industry chain, I mean, I love to have another mining-based industry on the map. There are a few places where I would really love to put one of those, so really looking forward to that. New rolling stock, which has also been mentioned further down below. As far as I'm concerned, they've done a really bad job at balancing the stuff in a way that has multiple things make sense. There are a few exceptions here, but for the most part, if you want something efficient, there's really only one choice to go for, and with there being like 3 choices for a lot of the different goods, sometimes even more maybe, this isn't really going too well, and I wish they would just try to rebalance what we have already instead of just putting out more for that. I'm planning on making maybe a little video talking about the best cars for the different goods to transport. That might take a while, would definitely be something to do a bit more research and do a bit of preparation, but that's something that I have in the back of my mind right now. Partially to also point out the things that are going well, but also what's not really been done too well right now. And yeah, as far as the Trello map is concerned, we could have a quick look at this. Let's just do it right now. Honestly, since it launched in September, not too much has changed. They switched out a lot of the colors here. So this is item is shipped. That's what a lot of things went from coming soon or something to it's out now. That's really what we can expect from all of this. And besides that, they only added different hotfixes. Oh, there's actually the kettle update in here. But besides all of that, I cannot even find the winter update, so there's really not too much to look at right here, and yeah. Not really been actively used. I know from other games like Motortown how a Trello roadmap can look if you actually, putting everything on there that you would expect where you can get lost in that one. Again, map update. Pretty excited about that. I want to finally get the option to flip the switches just through the map itself and all of that. I was looking forward to that being the February update, but apparently that's either been pushed back or they decided to just put out more content right now. Again, I don't care too much about the new content. I would like to see different mechanics in the games being addressed and expanded upon. But with this one, I think there's also a decent chance that the release of an update that does so many things to the internal workings of a game it could easily break a lot of stuff, so I would rather them take a bit more time on it and release it in a decently usable state. Same with the rest of the updates. As far as this blind update is concerned, one thing that I would really love to have, but I don't think we would be getting with this, I would love if we had like two different splines and would just put out an intersection point that we could then just edit that and put them together like that. For example, let's say we have one track from an industry going up at a very specific angle, and then another coming down from a different direction. Just have them intersect and then give us the option to either turn that intersection into a dynamic crossover, which we talked about, I think a year ago or something about making that an option. But also maybe the option to just set a radius and just then transform this intersection into an actual transitioning corner piece. Could also, of course, work if we have like a really wide turn that just hits the other track at some point and then just be able to just transform that part into a tangential correction piece that allows us to transition from one of the other, or from one to the other. I don't know if I made myself clear with what I want here, but yeah, just being able to put two tracks together and then after the fact combine them into a smooth transition, that would be nice. Multiplayer improvements, well, online is part of the game's name, and this should have been in the game a year ago, maybe two or something. But again, better late than never. So I don't really know too much about that. Just as a quick last point here, new props and buildings. I showed in one of my recent videos that actually on the cattle farm, the main building is scaled up to a way where Mr. Reyrussen has eye level to the doorknob. Maybe instead of just putting out more stuff, start by fixing this thing, because that's the same issue as with a lot of other building props already, and I would be much more confident about this arriving in a decent state if at least those things would be addressed. Shouldn't be that difficult, just loading up the entire prop and scaling it down. But yeah, just if nothing about that is done, and we are just going to get a lot more props and buildings, which are again also just props and not really too much else, then I'm not really looking forward to that, because they are most likely gonna have the same issues again. I think that's the overall theme here. They are just putting out a lot of stuff that has had issues in the past, didn't see those issues being resolved, and now we are getting more of that, which is most likely gonna suffer from the same quality problems. So yeah. That would have made the video a lot shorter if I just put it like that, but yeah, so much about it. Anyways, I think that's about everything I wanted to talk here. I already gave my opinion on this stuff. This is something that I really have to commend the devs for, because this is a positive change, at least as long as they take their time and not just do what they have apparently done in the past and just put up the update on a testing branch for about 15 minutes and then put it on the live one. Doesn't really do much with that. If they give people a week and then fix all the issues in the meantime, or at least the major ones, this would be amazing. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Let me know your opinion, and if you are excited for all of the stuff here. Again, right now, it depends on how the map lands. If that map is absolutely perfect, which, just looking at the background here, I wouldn't expect that to be too easy to work with. However, if that still turns out to be nice, then I'm taking everything back that I say here. I would love nothing more than to stand corrected, but right now I expect it to be similar to what we had already. And if that's the case, then I don't really care too much about that. Anyways, enough about the repetition. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.